Do you know our country's name, our country's name, our country's name? Do you know our country's name, Canada? It has blue lakes and mountain peaks, mountain peaks, mountain peaks. It has blue lakes and mountain peaks, Canada. There are moose and beavers too, beavers too, beavers too. There are moose and beavers too, Canada. You'll see oil and prairie grass, prairie grass, prairie grass. You'll see oil and prairie grass, Canada. Canada is our country's name, our country's name, our country's name. Canada is our country's name, Canada. Welcome everybody to the town of Milton's virtual Canada Day celebrations. I'm so happy I could be a part of this today. It's a little bit different this year, but I'm happy and proud that we are still able to get together in some small way to celebrate a Canada that makes us proud, a country that we love to call our home. So thank you. And for those of you who don't already know me, my name is Miss Becca. I am the Children's Services Librarian with Milton Public Library. And I am so happy that you could join me all here today because it means I get to share my love of books and my love of stories with all of you, which is something I have so greatly missed doing in person over the last few months. But even though you aren't able to come into the library, just a quick reminder that you can all borrow our resources via curbside pickup at the main library. And I hope that you will use that this summer. At least we can give you a little wave through your driver's side window. Some small little thing, but it means a lot to us. So without further ado, I'm going to share a picture book with you. One that I think is very appropriate for today. It's called I Am Canada, a Celebration. And the great thing about this book is all of the pictures inside are different on every page because they are all done by different Canadian illustrators, 13 different ones to be exact. This book came out to celebrate Canada's 150th birthday. I Am Canada, a Celebration. I am Canada. I run, I swim, I skate, I dance. I skim over the snow on my toboggan. I have space. I read, I learn, I draw, I dream. I stay out late and see the northern lights. I have time. I watch, I touch, I listen, I make up my mind. I decide to build a castle. I am free. I am Canada. I am cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. I am springy in the spring and floppy in the fall. I eat pizza and pierogies and peppers. I eat meatballs and muffins and mangoes. I am quiet. I am curious. I am friendly. I am funny. I explain. I explore. I enjoy, I share, I sing, I celebrate. I am Canada. And that is I Am Canada, a Celebration. Now, if you were reading that book at home, you would be able to log the time that you spent reading that into your Summer Reading Club log. For those of you who aren't already aware, we are absolutely still running our registration for the Summer Reading Club right now. It's all online this year. We won't get to see you, but we have the same great prizes. And this year you'll even earn virtual badges for all the reading that you do. Anything you read counts. So if you like picture books, great. If you're reading chapter books, that's great. But you can also read newspapers, magazines, and of course, nonfiction. like this book here. This is a great nonfiction book, a wonderful example of something you could read and track the time that you spend reading it to earn those badges and tickets for all the cool prizes. So if you haven't already registered, jump onto Milton Public Library's website and it will tell you how to do that. So this cool book, Canada for Kids, 1000 Awesome Facts. Really cool things in here to share. I'm just going to point out a few. The first one, which of course I had to point out, was the King of Kid Lit. Do you know who it is? I bet most of you could have guessed. Our King of Literature here in Canada is none other than Robert Munsch, who lives in Guelph, which isn't very far. It says here he's sold more than 30 million copies, but I bet that number is even higher since this book came out a few years ago. And I had to show you this one. Here's a familiar face, Milton. Chris Hadfield. He became the first Canadian to command a spaceship on March 13, 2013. Some of the facts in here you may already know, and some of them may be new to you. Did you know that the largest zoo was our very own Toronto Zoo? And that it opened in 1974 and sees 1.5 million visitors every year? Maybe not this year, but normally. Pretty cool. And the coolest one, well, maybe not the coolest, but the one that you probably don't already know, how many of you like to bowl? Do you like the 10-pin bowling with the really big heavy balls or the 5-pin bowling? I think most kids, I know it's true for mine, they actually like the smaller balls. And here's an interesting thing. Americans invented the 10-pin bowling, the really heavy balls, and Thomas Ryan, when he opened his first 10-pin lanes in Toronto in 1905, he started getting complaints from customers because the balls were so big and heavy. So he started experimenting with their weight and size, and then voila! In 1909, Canada's 5-pin game was born. And we are still enjoying that 5-pin game now. So that was just a little fun fact. I would like to finish up with a feltboard rendition of a book that you're probably all familiar with called Brown Bear, Brown Bear. But in honor of today's celebrations and festivities, it is called Canada, Canada, What Do You See? So we'll finish up with that, and we look forward to seeing you in person soon. Canada, Canada, what do you see? I see a maple leaf looking at me. Maple leaf, what do you see? I see a flag looking at me. Flag, flag, what do you see? I see a beaver looking at me. Beaver, beaver, what do you see? I see Canadian geese looking at me. Canada Goose, what do you see? I see a moose looking at me. Moose, moose, what do you see? I see salmon looking at me. Salmon, salmon, what do you see? I see a canoe looking at me. Canoe, canoe, what do you see? I see a black bear looking at me. Black bear, what do you see? I see hockey sticks looking at me. Hockey sticks, what do you see? I see Canadians looking at us. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. Happy Canada Day from all of us here at Milton Public Library to all of you. We hope to see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.